We hear a lot about religious freedom from conservatives these days, but when they use that term, what do they actually mean? Well, we've got a poll out of Iowa that's going to show what their definition of religious freedom actually is and how self-serving it is in reality. Get this. Only 49% of Iowa Republicans think the religion of Islam should even be legal in the United States, with 30% saying it shouldn't be and 21% not sure. Maybe the religion should be legal.
Well, okay.
Less than half say, yeah, they should be able to be a part of that religion if they want.
John, I mean, to be fair, these are not the guys who say that they believe in religious freedom, right? Like, they're not the ones who argue that their religious beliefs should be sacrosanct and sometimes even above the law.
Exactly, yeah.
They're not. That's not this party, is it?
I think, I'm going to do some more research. Pretty sure it's exactly the same people.
Oh, it's the same
fucking
party.
people, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's crazy. I mean, like, religious freedom, it can be stretched to all sorts of stuff these days. Like, I don't want to put my signature on a thing, even if you're paying me $80,000 a year to do so. Like, they'll try to stretch it. But if it means anything at all, it should mean that you cannot be locked up simply for being a part of a religion. And they have jumped way past everything else. They'll get rid of the Muslims eventually. But until then, they're definitely locking them up. And that's 51% either say it should be illegal or they're not sure. I don't even know what the fuck it means to not be sure about that. If you may not be sure what the best flavor of Pop-Tart is, you should be sure whether or not it should be legal to practice a religion.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is amazing. So you think they hate gays. Kim Davis won't have marriage certificates. Muslims getting married, who cares? No, the conversation is whether it should be illegal or not.
Yeah. That's crazy.
From the party of religious freedom. So,
but
look, we've known this for a long time. It's birds of a feather, man. They flock together. So these are the same fundamentalists. They're not any different than the Muslim fundamentalists. Okay, everybody's heads explode. No, Muslims are worse. Okay, I know, I got it. So moving past that.
They're all terrible.
Yeah, okay. No,
they're all terrible.
Okay. All right, moving past that rage. No, the idea is they think their religion should rule us all. Mm-hmm. And so that's the same central idea. So when you say to them, well, okay, shouldn't you respect other religions? They think, no, of course I shouldn't. Of course I shouldn't. You should give me my freedom to dominate over you, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you're a gay person, I'm not going to let you have the same rights as me. And if you want me to, then you're taking away my freedom.
Yeah.
Other religions, if you let you practice your religion, no.
Yeah.
My freedom as an American and a right-winger Christian fundamentalist is to take away your freedom.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is a long history in America. And again, it goes back to this great article I read in Alternate a long time ago about how, and it really changed my worldview on this because I couldn't believe it, but it was a really compelling case about how the South, during the Civil War, they 100% genuinely, and after the Civil War too, believed that they had the freedom to enslave people.
Yeah.
And that when the North took that freedom away from them, they were genuinely outraged.
That was intolerant of the North.
That's right, because they were Northern agitators.
Yeah.
And they came in, they were aggressors. And they came in and took away the freedoms that they'd always enjoyed.
And they can find a lot of support in the Bible for that. Now, their abolitionists also found support for their side in the Bible, but the slave masters and people supporting slavery, they were too able to find things in the Bible that supported it.
So it shouldn't be that surprising to you that they think like, yeah, of course all other religions, we hate them.
Yeah.
We hate them because we hate them. And so if we could, we'd make them illegal. It's super sad that even in a country like America, where we have a great constitution, we're deeply secular, arguably the first secular country on the planet that said we will not have a religious test for office, we will not establish a religion in this country. We still have to fight that fight tooth and nail all the way through. So here, we're the guys who are saying, even though we're hardcore atheists, right? Mm-hmm. Agnostic, atheists, whatever you want to call us.
Atheists.
Okay, John says atheists. Okay. That we're the ones fighting the fight to say, hey, wait a minute, those guys should have religious freedom.
Yeah.
Right? Religious freedom's for everybody.
At the very least, not be locked up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Right?
And then eventually, hopefully, we can convince you to get rid of your religion. But until then, you should be free.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I mean, I'll talk your ear off about it, and hopefully I'll talk you out of it. But in the meantime, yeah, we're not going to lock you up.
Yeah. No, they fundamentally believe that rights only matter for groups that they are a part of, except for gay rights, where even if they're a part of it, until they're publicly seen to be a part of it, they won't give you the rights.
Oh, and by the way, if a Muslim country had come up with a poll that said,
oh my God,
30% of that country wants to make Christianity illegal and lock up all the Christians.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I knew the Muslims. The Muslims. Right? That's what you would hear. Now, look, it's not 30% of the U.S., to be fair. It's 30% of Republicans in Iowa.
Yeah.
But the Iowa polling, based on public policy polling here, who did this poll, matches, in other categories, matches the belief of Republicans in other states as well. So it's a fairly representative poll in that sense.
Yeah.
One major party, in a Muslim country, if they said, let's just make Christianity illegal and arrest them all,
done.
That would be a giant, giant story.
And we saw something like that. They were trumping this poll that I think it was young Muslims in Britain at some point, some percent, 15%, 25% said that infidels should be put to death. Now, look, in this case, they said it should be illegal. We don't know exactly what the penalty would be, and thankfully, in our country, Republicans don't support the death penalty. So it could certainly be that. Yeah. Now, it's only 30% plus the 21% who aren't sure. Now, amongst Trump voters, there's almost an even division. 38% think it should be allowed, 36% that it should not be allowed. So, as always, the more xenophobic, the more anti-Muslims going with Trump there. And then, by the way, and this is certainly tied into this, and we're going to get into it with a story with Mike Huckabee a little bit later on, 69% of Iowa Republicans also believe that President Obama is waging a war on Christianity. That's definitely a safe belief to have about the head of our country.
Amazing.
Waging a war.
No, that's almost more unbelievable. Because, look, I know that the fundamentalist Christians don't get the point of this country. I've known that for a long time. I get that they hate Islam, and so I'm not surprised by Iowa Republicans at 30%. It's a hideous, horrible number, but I'm not surprised by it. But really, 69%, 7 out of 10 Republicans in Iowa think that Obama is waging a war against Christianity. Come on, man. That 7 out of 10 Republicans in Iowa, but probably, again, representative of the other states, believes that they believe in things that are not remotely true. They believe in unbelievable fantasies.
Yeah.
They are living in an alternate reality. It's amazing.
This is why it's so vital for the Republicans to convince them that he's not a Christian, because that then leads to this sort of thing. Well, if he's not that, and he seems like Muslims, I guess he must be waging a war. That's what they do that for. That's the big payoff for the investment of racism and xenophobia that they've been doing.
They live among us, and there's a lot of them, man.
There's a lot of them, yeah.
There's a lot of these mental zombies walking around. Oh, Obama waging war against Christianity. Must stop him. That's pretty dangerous, man.
Yeah. Yeah, finally, this sort of confirms other polls, but public policy polling found that Donald Trump currently leads in Iowa with 24%, Ben Carson at 17%, Carly Fiorina in third with 13%. So that has not shaken up too much in the past week or so.
That's why when Ben Carson said, I wouldn't let a Muslim be president, now his campaign manager is tripling down. Carson came down, doubled down on it, wouldn't back away. Now his campaign manager is high-stepping and saying, hey, I told you the Iowa voters agreed with us.
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, Iowa voters are saying, we're not going to vote for a Muslim either. Okay, so they're now proud of it.
Wow.
I'm telling you, the more you encourage this kind of discrimination and stereotypes, etc., the uglier it gets, and the more people feel emboldened to say, wait, I can say this in public?
Yeah.
I thought I only could say it when I got drunk with my friends. Okay, now they say it to encourage one another. It's a bad road to go down.
Yeah.
Okay, look, man, what's the real problem? Come on, people. Come on. It's not, Christianity isn't the problem. Of course not. Islam isn't the problem. I would say, of course not. Other heads would explode over that. No, it's the fundamentalism, stupid. It's the fundamentalism that's a problem. The fundamentalist Christianity, fundamentalist Islam, and the fundamentalists of all the religions who are driving us to a bad, bad place, man. Don't go there.